When Alex was 4 years old, he had neck pain, and his neck was tilted to the side. We just thought he had pulled a muscle. He was a very active kid.
On April 27th, she woke up that morning. She was fine. Within an hour and a half, she was paralyzed from her waist down.
Caden was hit by a car when he was 2.5 years old.
Evander was born with a tumour called neuroblastoma, which is a type of childhood cancer.
It was scary because I didn't know what was happening.
Overnight, it just continued to get worse. By the morning, he couldn't walk, so I brought him to Children's Hospital.
It's something that was compressing his spinal cord from birth.
What they found was that he had a spontaneous spinal epidural hematoma.
We got the diagnosis of transverse myelitis.
It caused a spinal cord injury and ended up leaving him paralyzed from the chest down.
2 days after that, he ended up having a spinal cord stroke.
He has not been able to use his body basically from the chest down.
We did have concerns about where we were going to stay, but when my husband, he come up and toured Fraser to make sure that that's the facility that we wanted to go to, and they were the ones who recommended the Ronald McDonald House to us.
We heard about the Ronald McDonald House through Fraser, and that was something that was put to us as the best place for us to stay and the most convenient for our family.
The caseworker across the street at Fraser had told us that there was a place to stay called the Ronald McDonald House.
Unlike other illnesses that kids have, there are a lot of times groups that you can get to know other parents and other families with those same problems and issues. And with spinal cord injuries, it's such a small population. Being able to come to a place like the Ronald McDonald House and participate in a program that they have at Fraser allows us finally to get to meet some families that have the same issues. And it's been great for the kids to connect with each other and for the parents to share information.
One of the things I think that the Ronald McDonald House is that it opens its arms to families going through crisis. And then it says, we're going to take care of you. And Louisville is making a commitment to that.
Louisville has a great reputation for being a very hospitable city, and we believe at Ronald McDonald House that we're part of that as it relates to the medical community. Families who come and stay with us many times have never been to Louisville. A lot of times they're from really small towns, and Louisville is a big, scary town to them. But between the Ronald McDonald House and all the great, friendly people here and all the great folks at the hospitals, they find that Louisville is a very welcoming, inviting community, and we're proud to be part of that at Ronald McDonald House.
The Ronald McDonald House is a very comfortable place to stay. You feel like you're at home, and just getting to meet other people and talk to them and learn from them and share with them. It's a family. You have a bond. We've been here for almost a year, and it's coming close time for us to go home, and it's going to be very hard not to cry. It's definitely become a bittersweet to have to leave our Kentucky family.
The Ronald McDonald House has meant that we have had a convenience, and I found a luxury as in our 3 months staying in America. It's given us the opportunity to meet new families, but also a convenience of the basics, which is a meal that I don't have to cook, and washing machines, and a space other than just being in a hotel room where you're claustrophobic, and being able to go into different floors for play areas or kitchen areas and chat to other people just means this time hasn't been, I think I would have gone crazy if I had it been in a hotel just with me and Evander for all of that time. So it's meant an opportunity to really live a life here rather than feel like that we're not at home. It's given us a home away from home.
Having other families that are going through the same thing, although their injuries come about quite differently, has made it a lot easier because you have, we're relatively new to this, where some of the kids have had injuries since they were 3 or whatnot. So it makes it easier because somebody has been there and done that, and you can bounce ideas off of them. You can say, hey, what did you do when this happened? So, we kind of collectively put our thoughts together. That was the thing at dinner every night. What did y'all do in rehab today? How was this? It was good bonding.
Well, it really has helped us out financially. It has been, it's definitely a sacrifice on our end to be able to come here. I did have to leave work, so I'm actually working 10 hours part-time from here a week, and so financially, this definitely fits in for us, and it really helps us with having playrooms and having a kitchen area. I don't think there are too many places that would offer that type of facility for us to be able to have, and plus it's very accessible in a lot of the areas for Alex.
Going through this with Caden definitely at times makes you feel like you're the only one that has experienced something this traumatic, but meeting other people, you realize, that there is a bond that you can have with other people, and they would feel like they're going through it as well. But there's definitely been lifelong friendships that have been made through this experience.
The Ronald McDonald House is important because it gives families whose kids are getting treatment at Fraser, treatment in the NICUs, treatment in the surrounding hospitals, a place to stay, a place to take a shower, a place to get a meal, where otherwise you might not have that. You might have to travel back and forth. So it gives you a place to be right here, close to where you're doing therapy or have a child in the hospital.
In this instance, you're taking care of one of the most weakest and vulnerable communities we have, and that's children. They can't be advocates for themselves. And so when you respond to the Ronald McDonald House, you're caring for the weakest we have. And you're caring for children who can't be advocates for themselves. You're caring for families who are going through crisis, and you're giving to them.
If the Ronald McDonald House wasn't here, then families might not have this as an option and might not be able to get the treatment that they need. They might have to go home sooner.
The Ronald McDonald House has definitely been a huge blessing for us. There's absolutely no way we would have been able to stay here without it.
If you've ever had a sick child or gone through a crisis, you'll understand. But I think Louisville has a big enough heart to know what that means if you've never had a child like that, and to want to be able to give to that family. So I think it's part of Louisville's nature to do something like this. And it's just what Louisville does.